and I don't want to see anybody get hurt out doing the lawn care service, doing a lawn care business. I'm going to tell you a few things about some things that's happened to me that I've seen happen that hopefully you will be able to prevent in your lawn care service, in your business. Before you go mow any new lawn, any new place, it is imperative, absolutely imperative, that you go walk around and check to make sure there's nothing out there that you can get on that will, it could be a loose object laying in the ground, in the grass, especially if it's tall grass. There's going to be that occasion where the grass covers it up and you cannot see it, and you have to be very skeptical, and you got to be careful. And the other part of that, you got to be very careful where you point your mower. It's potentially a weapon. For example, if your chute side is on this side, always to your right usually. Some mowers expel from the back, most go from the right. And you have to think of your cutting as potentially anything could come out of the side of this deck, could potentially hurt you, put your eye out, could kill you, because the blades on this thing turn fast enough and have enough power behind them that, given the right object and the right projectivity and all that, it could very well kill you. I've seen one of these things project a golf ball much harder than anyone I know could hit it. And I hit a golf ball, for example, one time that I didn't know was in some really tall grass. And even cutting the tall grass and hitting the golf ball, it projected itself directly into a windshield of a pickup truck that was probably 250 feet away or more. The golf ball went into the windshield that deep, because a front windshield of a vehicle will crush. It won't shatter. And the windshield was concave like this when the little golf ball hit it. Imagine if that had been a person. That person would more than likely be dead. And there was little kids who lived in this house, who played there. I would have considered anyone to be that far away to be in safe distance away from my mower. But given the right object, so I don't like people to be outside when I'm cutting. I don't point the mower so it can throw stuff at a person. When I'm beside the road, I'm always watching to make sure that that I'm not going to throw something at a car. Even if I can see it's totally clear, I stop and turn, or either I will blow in the opposite direction to try to keep from blowing any object toward an automobile. When you're weed eating, the same thing can happen. But let me go back with the mowing here for a second. To protect you, you need earplugs. You need to make sure, because this machine is loud. The deck roars pretty loud. The motor is, loud, and it's got a pretty big job to do to cut grass and everything. A lot of moving parts. So it sounds kind of like an airplane coming down through someone's yard. And listening to that all day for 8 hours for years on end, could certainly probably dull your hearing. So you want to protect your hearing. Number two, protect your eyes. Off your deck, projectile side, you can get objects that will actually come out of your deck and come up and over and hit you. I don't know how this happens, but it happens. if you're going up close to trees and you're blowing toward the tree, an object, pine cone, a stick, any little pieces, part off of a tree can hit a tree and bounce back at you. Now, even slowing it down with the deflection and everything is still going to hurt. And if you don't have something on your eyes, it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna knock out your eyesight or scratch your eye, do something. So you want to make sure that you got some protective lenses on. And I protect myself, against the sun while I'm out running. I usually wear a hat that protects my face against the sun, protects my ears. My ears, for the first few years, I only wore a ball cap. And the ball cap, I noticed that the inside of my ears and the outside of my ears, after a few years, they were kind of sort of getting crusty and hard, and it looked like they were like baked and stuff. And so I realized that I need to, protect my ears. So I started putting a hat on that covers all the way around the top of your head. I mean, I like a ball cap. They look nice, and everybody's got their favorite kind of hat to wear. But you want to protect yourself against the sun. But you make sure when you're running one of these machines that you are very respectful of its power. Don't put yourself in a position where this machine can flip over on you. I know the commercial grade machines is 60 inches and wider, have a nice wide stance, and you can get them on a pretty good slope without too much problem. But don't get overconfident, because this machine will flip over. And if you'll notice, all the new machines have a roll bar on them, and 95% of all the ones that I see, the roll bar is down. Now that's fine if you're on a nice flat surface and there is no slope. But if you got a slope there, go ahead and put that roll bar up and protect yourself, because that's going to keep that machine from pinning you down if it ever rolls over. So that's what the roll bar is for, is put space between the machine and the ground so that you have an escape route to get out from under it, so it doesn't get you. Same thing, same concept of NASCAR or anything else, tractor that has a roll bar on it. Protect yourself and protect those around you when you're running one of these machines. It's not worth it. I mean, a lawsuit or a loss of life, loss of limb, whatever you can think of could potentially happen. So always be thinking safety, thinking that the worst can happen, and be prepared for the worst to happen. On the other part of that, when you're running your weed eater, always have your protective eyewear on. Even if it's raining, even if it's whatever the conditions are, have your eye protection on, because anytime that string is moving, it has a great flexibility to sling any object straight into your face, facial area, eyes. And your eyes, you always want to have protected. If you turn your weed eater tip up, which if you run one any at all, you're going to do it, that makes the string where it's slinging stuff directly up into your body towards you. And you can do it where it slings it away from you. All you got to do is turn it around the other way, and it's slinging it that way. But still, the string is turning in a direction that's going to propel items directly into your path. Make sure that you have your eye protection on